Good evening and welcome to this session of the live learning classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It's good to be back. And before I begin, let me wish you all a very, very happy New Year 2024. In your particular case, I pray to the Lord that this year should be the year when you will complete your intermediate and then proceed with your career as a chartered accountant, as a future chartered accountant. And may the Lord bless us. So let us begin with the invocation. It's not a prayer, it is an invocation. There's a difference. We're not asking for anything in this. In Sahana Bhavatu, we are not asking for anything. We are only invoking the environment to be peaceful so that our studies can go on well. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Great. So today we are going to get into the new topic, which is management and administration. Now, the name given is management and administration, but basically in those days, this used to be called meeting and proceedings. In those days, we used to call this topic meetings and proceedings. So don't get worried about the very, very boring title of management and administration. What they are actually combined in this chapter are basically rules relating to how meetings will be conducted. Right. Later on, I will let you in on a very, very important principal issue. But right now, let me assure you that in this topic, we'll be talking more about meetings and proceedings and similar matters. A lot of people have given their greetings to me and wished me Happy New Year. I thank all of you and look forward. I'm just looking whether any query is there. Because if there is any query, then I would answer that. Otherwise, we can proceed. Okay. So, good. Now, but for Mr. Srinivasan's query, which has something to do with incorporation, which I will definitely take it up at a later point in time. Today we are starting a new topic, so let me not go there. And so today we will be talking about meetings, registers, returns, and the procedural aspects. In fact, I call this topic as the dynamics of corporate management. Dynamics. See, when you say the company has done something or whatever, basically what we are trying to say is the members have done it. The members have given their approval. In the Act, you find many sections. In the Act, you find many sections where they say you have to pass a special resolution, pass an ordinary resolution. We studied it. We even saw what is ordinary resolution, what is special resolution. But basically, many of us still may have how do we get this ordinary resolution, special resolution? What happens? Is there some shop somewhere where you just go, hey, I want an ordinary resolution, give it to me? Like that. A resolution is a decision. You can note this down if you want because you won't find it in my notes. It's a concept. You have to understand it. A resolution is a decision. See, I'm sure many of you have done this and I did it too. On the 30th of December, I took some time off for myself. I sat in the corner wherever I was and I was looking at the sea and I was just thinking, what am I going to do in the next 1 year? And I made a lot of resolutions. I made a resolution. What is that? I took a decision. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I need to do this. This is priority in my life. Things like that. So when you put all these things in a paper and write it down, you have made a resolution to yourself. But when a company passes a resolution, all the members come together and take a decision. When majority of them agree, decision taken. If majority does not agree, decision not taken. So passing of resolution is nothing but taking of decision by members. Right, sir? Similarly, we can have decision by board. So there are many situations where the board has to pass a resolution, the board of directors. How does that happen? The board meeting is conducted. And at the board meeting, a decision is taken by a majority of the directors. So when that happens, it is called board resolution. When the members meet and take a decision, it is called members' resolution, which could be either a special or ordinary. Friends, note it. There are no special resolutions in board. For the board meeting, no question of ordinary special. You just have one single board resolution, meaning if there are 5 directors, 3 agree, 2 board, resolution passed. Simple majority, that's all. Whereas in in the meeting of the members, you have ordinary and special. So in this chapter, we are going to see many things about meetings. First, we are going to see what are the types of meetings. Why is it conducted? Then, how it is conducted. Meaning, what are the basic rules? What of rules are there? Because even if one rule is not followed or followed in a different way, the resolution taken, the decision taken could become invalid. That is the danger. Suppose the companies go to the registrar or to the tribunal and says, we have passed the resolution. Show me. So they give a document. It says true copy of the proceedings of the meeting of so-and-so company. Counter other advocate comes and says, sir, this has not happened. They are supposed to give a notice, 21 days. Whereas they have given only 14 days. Where is the approval? Shorter notice. Show it. So all this argument will happen. Therefore, before you say that a resolution is passed, you have to ensure that the meeting is conducted in accordance with the rules. Thereafter, there are also many provisions relating to registers and returns. So basically, this chapter 7 is divided into 2 parts. One part, meetings and related matters, sections 96 to 122. Then you have registers and returns, 88 to 95. Now, many of you have this wonderful habit, or it's a nice thing actually, of having the Board of Studies material in front of you. So I'm sure you're having chapter 7 and you will be sort of searching for where. Some of you might even put a query, where are you? Tell me the page number like that. Now I'm telling you, I'm jumping. I'm going to, in your Board of Studies material, I'm in 7.81 straight. That is the order in which I'm going to teach you. Because if I take 88 to 95 in the first session, you will go to sleep. Yeah, that's so boring. And it's not very important from the exam point of view, but I will teach it. Aaj to nahi. By the end, it will come. That will be last. 88 to 95 will be last. Even in meetings and related matters, I'm not going to start with 96. I'm going to start with section AGM. So I said, 96. Yeah. No, I'm going to start with 96 only, correct. I'm going to start with 96 and then move on. Whereas in the Board of Studies thing, I don't know what they've done. They started with notice and all that and then come to meetings. In my case, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to introduce you to the type of meetings, basic rules relating to when it should be held, how it should, when and all that, why, when. Then I'll go to how, which is common. Most cases, how is common. Okay, those topics will come later. One thing I will assure you is that this topic is exciting topic, very practical and very interesting. Okay, so this is how companies are run and take decisions. And so all the theory that we studied, this is practical. That is why sometimes when I'm teaching meetings, in those days we used to call it meetings and proceedings. So when I teach this so-called management and administration, I always say we are dealing with the dynamics of corporate management. What did I say? Dynamics of corporate management. Dynamics means movement. Okay, the movement. This is what happens. What you're reading, the book is static. Sections on, blah, blah, blah. But once you take it to the real life, it's about people, yeah. It's about huge amounts of money. It's about 2 brothers fighting with each other for controlling the company. Think like that. You will understand the value of each one of this topic. I will do my best to relate these 2 matters like that, but within limits. Within limits. Even if you have any doubts from latest developments in any corporate field, you just give me an idea. I will refer to it and I'll explain to you how this section or that section that we study is applicable there. Prasad Padnekar says, please give the correct way steps for writing answers in exam. Abhinay, Bad. But before that, Padnekar ji or Prasad ji, check your handwriting. How good is it? First step, because you're going to write this exam. So just check your handwriting. However, properly you write it. Now, if your handwriting is a scrawl, it's not visible, it's not legible, maybe a problem. So first step, Patnagar is going to go and check his handwriting first. How good is it? If it is good, then half the game. Thereafter, I'll tell you, this is the reality. People with good handwriting get more marks. People with good control over the English language, who are writing in English, even people who are writing in Hindi should know how to write the answer in a logical way. Okay, step by step. That I will teach you, don't worry. But many times I have taught, but nobody seems to be listening to it when I'm telling. Don't worry. Abhinay, you know what? This, you know how many slides are there? You are not going to believe this. I just wrote it down somehow. I think there are 256 slides. 256 slides. Not joking. And so you have to go very, very, and don't worry. Even though 256 slides, much of it is easy and exciting. So today, I hope you're all fine with this, the shifting of the topics that I'm doing. But one thing, some of you who are, into that now, auditors, like pure born auditors, make out a list of sections and then keep checking. So as a tick, 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 like that. And you will find that I have covered everything. Don't worry. Okay, so some of you will have that doubt now. So will you cover all the topics, all the sections? Absolutely, don't worry. Okay. Even if it is not relevant, I will cover it once. But where it is important from the exam point of view, I would shout and I will make a big scene and I will tell you, please be thorough. At that time, you concentrate. Okay. So there are basically 3 types of meetings. One is board meetings, as I already mentioned. Board meetings, right? Not this. Not this board. No. Okay. Not this board. This is board, B-O-A-R-D, board meetings, where meetings of the board of directors. That will not be covered in this topic. That will be covered when you come to final. You will study it in the self-paced module, meetings of board and its powers, that chapter. In self-paced manner, you will study it when you come to final. Right now, board meetings are not there. But believe me, many of the rules are applicable. But alag. General meetings are members. Meetings of members are called general meetings. Clear, sir? Meetings of directors called board meetings. Meetings of members called general meetings. Right? Now, in addition to this, there are other stakeholders. Equity shareholders are there. Preference shareholders are there. Then, if you remember, there are shareholders where the shares are carrying differential voting rights. They are a different class. Equity shareholder, one class. Preference shareholder, another class. DVS, differential voting right shares, another class. Creditors, another class. All the creditors become one class. Within the creditors, secured creditors, one class. Are you able to understand? These are called classes. Now, when the interest of any class is affected, they can also have a meeting. Such a meeting is called class meetings. The rules relating to class meetings are same as general meetings. The rules relating to class meetings are same as general meetings. Now, if you remember your definitional section, I taught you total voting power. Do you remember? That is, if all the votes are cast on a poll, then the number of votes which can be cast is the total voting power. Meaning, if a company has 5 lakh shares of rupees 10 each, on a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. So how many votes can be cast? 5. That is the 5 lakhs, sorry. That is the 5 lakhs is the total voting power. You remember this? Now, you might ask me, sir, for a class meeting, how do I know total voting power? Simple. Suppose there are 3 creditors. Together, they are owed 10 crore. Together, 10 crore. Creditor A, 3. Creditor B, 3. Creditor C, 4. In value. This fellow is owed 3 crore, this fellow 3 crore, this fellow 4 crore. Then how will I calculate TVP? Total voting power is the total value, 10 crore. Out of that, 3 by 10, 3 by 10, 4 by 10. That is how we calculate the voting power. So when A is voting, 3 by 10 vote. B is voting, another 3 by 10. C is voting 4 by 10. Okay, so you get 10 by 10, 1. So this is how you have to take it. One more possibility is there. Company does not have share capital. A company limited by guarantee not having share capital. Then how do I calculate? Simple. One man, one vote. Number of votes. That's all. So if there are 5 members, 5 votes. That is the total voting power. That's very simple actually. If no share capital, then simple. That is why he'll say total voting power. Okay. So this is why I gave this basic concept. So later on, you might suddenly get a doubt. That is why I'm giving this basic concept. Moving on. So board meeting, not in this part of the topic. It will be covered in final. Or rather, you will study it in final in self-paced module. General meeting. Aaj to it will be started today. Blah, blah, blah. It will go on. Class meetings. No need for separate section. It is mixed here. Whenever something pertaining to class meeting, I will tell you at that time. Right now, moving on. We will deal with general meetings and related matters first. So first we will see what are the 2 types of general meetings. Firstly, we have annual general meeting. Then you have extraordinary general meeting. Okay. For the sake of ease of, reference, I will call this fellow as AGM. I will call this fellow as EGM. I will not keep on saying annual general meeting, extraordinary general meeting. I will use AGM, EGM. So when I say AGM, don't think assistant general manager. No, it is annual general meeting. EGM, extraordinary general meeting. Okay, abbreviations allowed. In the exam also, once if you write annual general meeting, within bracket you write AGM, then you can use the abbreviation in that answer. This is the rule. Style rule is, and abbreviations are allowed. If you check up the Hindu or Indian Express, in the article, in the news item, initially they'll give the full word. And then they'll give the abbreviation or acronym thereafter to save space. Okay, that is the general rule. So this is AGM, this is EGM. Right, sir? Now, in your life, everybody, one day in the year is very important for you. Am I correct? Come on, tell me, which day is that very important day? I'm waiting for you on the query pad. I want you to think, which is that one important day for you in every year? Go on, give me your views. Idea is, I don't want it to be too boring. So, which is that one important day? Every year it comes, and it is very important for each one of you. It's important for you, it's important for him, it's important for her, everybody. For me, that one day, which is that day? My birthday. Happy birthday day, birthday. Exactly. See, in my regular physical classes, I used to do this. And invariably, I'll get people saying, birthday, birthday. Absolutely, you are right and wrong. Why don't you say my mother's birthday? Yeah? Sorry. that was really hitting you below the belt. But think about it. Huh? Mother's birthday is the most important day. Let's see if anybody is. 31st March is nobody's day. Modi ji is going to change it. Modi ji is going to change the financial year from 1st January to 31st December. So there is nobody's day, etc., etc. For you, there is no AGM, Baba, Mr. Devanshu. For you, okay? Right. But then think about it. Mother's Day, somebody is writing 12th May, Mother's Day. Why? My mother's birthday is the most important day for me in every year. Okay. Anyway, that apart. For you, that one day, okay? Oh, that day I eat at least 60 pani puri. Okay. So, in the eastern part of the country, pani puri is called golgappe. I don't know. So we somewhere there, that side it's called golgappe, and samosa is called singada and all that. Anyway, now the point is father's birthday. That's also there, but still mother. Okay, mother. I'm not joking. Mohammed Zuhail, don't mistake me. But mother, because more than 9 months you spent with her. Okay. So think about it. Just an idea. I'm not trying to waste your time. Think about it. Okay? Mother's birthday is the most important day. then of course your birthday. For her, this is the most important day. Remember, for you, if that is the most important day, for her, this is the most important day. Don't forget that. Your birthday is more important. Okay. Let's cut this birthday business. Let's come. So the company most important day every year is AGM. For every company, every year, there should be one AGM. There may be any other meeting, but definitely there should be one AGM. Every company other than OPC shall in each year hold in addition to any other meetings a general meeting. Shall in addition, in each year hold in addition to any other. So you have any number of AGM, but definitely one AGM. Shall. I think this shall is very, very important. Shall. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pick up this concept. One sec. Shall. In each year hold in addition to any other. The word shall is very powerful because whenever the word shall is used, it becomes mandatory. Okay. So compulsory. So the AGM is compulsory for all companies except OBC, and it's an annual feature. It is an annual feature, right? Now, I'm now going to discuss with you 3 important rules relating to AGM. 3 important rules. Okay, you should try to remember it. In the exam, one of the popular questions they will ask is, one of the important questions they will ask is, they will give you certain details and ask you to tell what is the last day before which the AGM should be held. The latest day before which the AGM should be held. So for calculating that, you have to triangulate, meaning you have to apply all the 3 rules. All the 3 should be satisfied. There is no order in which they have to be applied, but ideally in this order you will apply. First rule, the gap between 2 AGMs, should not exceed 15 months, 15 months. Meaning, suppose this year I had my AGM in, say, for example, for 23, I had the AGM on 31st of July. Then I have to count 15 months, meaning 30th of June, 12 months over, then July, August, September. So my next AGM should be held within 15 months. Okay. Suppose I held my AGM on August 31st. Then August, September, October, November, August to July 12. Then August, September, October. No, you can't go beyond 15 months. Though the 15-month period is there, though if your last AGM was held on 31st August, you can say, sir, 15 months would go up to October, sir. Can I do that? No, because the second rule says the AGM should be held within a period of 6 months from the date of closing of the financial year. So that's why I'm giving in this order. Okay, 6 months is there. That 6 months, you can't take it as a rule because then 15 months also has to be satisfied. You can't hold it beyond 15 months. Got it? You can't hold it beyond. For example, somebody held it on 30th of April, let us say. 30th of April. Right. Now, 30th of April. He is holding his AGM on 30th of April. It can be done. I have done it. For some companies, I have finalized the audit by 5th of April. And they gave the notice and everything. On 30th of April, we signed off on 2nd April, 3rd April and all. We have done it. And we had the AGM on 30th of April. Then what happens? 30th April. Okay, so 1st May, May to April. So April 30th, 12 months get over. Then May, June, July. Even then it will be July only. They have to hold it within July. Now let us say you argue and say, sir, I have 15 months time, July, but I can hold it within 6 months now. So why can't I go to September? You cannot, because the AGM should be held within 6 months from the date of closing of financial year. And the gap between two AGM should not exceed 15 months. Got it? 15 months. Rajveer Datta, I am teaching this subject in English. Can you ask that same question in English? I'll definitely answer you. I will answer you, but only if you ask that question in English, because I'm only addressing English. I'm addressing this class in English, and I can only answer in English. And please make the question also in English. Okay? You have written it in English script, but there are many Hindi words there. Okay, so I will answer it, but you should write the entire thing in English. Then I will definitely answer it. And I'm not aware of this prohibition and all that. I'm not aware. Because I don't know about this Hindi medium itself. I'm not aware. So seriously, if you're writing in Hindi medium, please go ahead and write. Use many words you can use. You can write in Hindi script. No, it's up to you. I don't know what the rule is. I'm not aware of it. Is the answer? I would humbly request in future, if you want to raise any specific queries relating to topic, kindly ensure that it is written in English, not in English script, in the English language. Okay. Thank you, Ji. Rajveer Ji. So, and I'm not aware of that prohibition and all. I'm sure you can write in Hindi also. I see, when I go north, I see many English words are written in Hindi script. It's acceptable. No problem. You can. So, you can write if you want. I don't know. In a nutshell, Rituraj put one more thing in the nutshell. In that nutshell you got now, you put one more, the third rule, which is AGM shall be held once in every year. So, why I'm making this into a rule? Because the registrar may, for any special reason, extend the time within which any AGM shall be held by a period not exceeding 3 months. Please understand, the registrar may, for any special reason, extend the time within which any AGM other than first AGM shall be held by a period not exceeding 3 months. Not exceeding 3 months. So, whatever you do, okay, without the permission of registrar, you cannot go beyond 30th September because the accounts will get closed on 31st March. Okay, and you have to ensure 15 months, and also you should have 6 months from the date. So 30th September or before. If you want to go beyond 30th September, then before 30th September, before that, you have to make an application to the registrar and give a special reason and ask him to extend. Maximum he can go only 3 months, which means October, November, December. So by December 31st, that is day before yesterday, your last AGM your AGM for the last year should have been held. Many companies got mainly they will get it because audit will not be completed. They keep on asking questions. These fellows also will not give the answer correctly. They keep on giving bullshit. Audit will keep dragging. But finally, somebody will blow the whistle and say, do something. Maybe because the company needs the financials for getting some important funding. Then they will go and fall at the auditor's feet, do something. Then he will give a condition. By the time 30th September will come, so the company secretary will come and say what to do. Then the MD will say, extend the timing. So they'll make an application to the registrar. So the company secretary of the company, not the practicing company secretary, the employed company secretary will go to the registrar's office, beg the registrar, the regional director, means the registrar, but then the registrar will do nothing. He will simply take the file, put his signature, say, sir, for your review, he will send it to the RD. Then you go to the RD, sit in front of him. He'll ask you what do you want. Why are you not holding AGM? You tell him my MD is not well. Something you tell, audit getting delayed, something. And you will get your extension by another 3 months. So, maximum you can go up to December only. Maximum. Because why I'm saying now, even the registrar cannot go beyond December. Technically. Also, at any cost, an AGM shall be held once in every year. There should be at least one AGM in every year. Okay. So I'm including this AGM shall be held once in every year as a rule because in those days it was possible to extend by 3 months and the registrar again will give 3 months. So here no, you cannot do it. And for example, See, even if you held your last AGM, see, I'll give you a simple example, ma. Last AGM was extended, let us say, to November. Then your 15 months calculation. 15 months calculation. So you held your AGM on, let us say, 30th of November. Then you will extension. From which date he will give? Not from 1st October, from not from 1st November, but from 1st October he will give 3 months. Maximum 31/12. You have to have a AGM on 31/12. That is the upper limit you can do, right? Now, so this is for other than first AGM. Means for auditors, we saw na, first auditor, subsequent auditor, like that. Now, what we have seen are the rules relating to other than first AGM, subsequent AGM, other than first AGM. Whereas first AGM alone, the rules are like this. So, Ankur Patel, sir, if registrar extend the time, then it is possible that, once you go to the registrar, then 15 months you can get chhod dijiye. That's not a problem. It's not a problem. Okay. So what you need to do is you have to go to the registrar on time and you have to get it. See, 15 months is not a problem, sir. Your 15 months will be easily done. Okay. So if you want to extend, then you have to go to the registrar. If you want to extend, then you have to go to the registrar. Maximum you can go only by 3 months. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. The registrar shall extend the time, then it is possible that gap between AGM may exceed 15. Yeah, absolutely. It can the gap between two AGMs will exceed 15 months. That is the whole point. It will exceed. That is why he is giving permission. See, you are violating at least the first two rules, whereas your third rule will not be violated. Okay, Rahul Sharma, how do you know that are you not feeling cold? I don't know. How you know that I'm sitting in an AC room? I don't know. I really would like to know. And that, of course, but my AC is only at 23, which is not for me normal. For me, normal is 19. Chennai. Now, Chennai is a little cold. Chennai, actually, we are experiencing cold weather. November, December, till January 15th, it will be cold in Chennai. Means it will be very cold. Every year means, is it financial year? That is a good question from Soumyaji. Thank you. Now, year means financial year or calendar year. The January to December, that so-called normal year you are telling, January to December, that is called calendar year. Calendar year. Now, good question. The answer is not in Companies Act. It is in another law which you will read, which is called, maybe the AC sound was your secret. Okay. The AC sound. You heard the AC sound and you knew that I'm sitting in an AC. Whatever. Okay, coming back to Soumyaji's question. Nice question. Year means calendar year. How do I know that? What is the method? Simple. Sirf year. Nothing else. Only year. Y-E-A-R year. Means normal calendar year. If they want financial year, then they will say financial year. For example, 6 months from the rate of closing of the financial year. Financial year is 1st April to 31st March. Calendar year, normally known as calendar year. Normal, if you don't use the word normal, but use the word calendar year. Calendar year, January to December. Where does it say? You will find it in the General Clauses Act. In the General Clauses Act, which you are going to study, I hope, okay, I'm sure you will. I hope we will be able to discuss General Clauses Act, inshallah. But the point is, suppose in that law you will study that whenever the word year is used without it, here financial year was defined. I defined it for you. At that time I told you, maybe Soumya did not or forgotten or whatever, but basically year means calendar year. So to answer the question, if AGM date falling on 30th November, as per rule, registrar can extend to 3 months. So it will be 20th February. Is it correct? Anmol Patwa, is it correct? That is why I am putting the third rule. That is why this rule is there. AGM shall be held once in every year. So registrar cannot go beyond 31st December. Maximum he can extend it by 1 month. So because he's got the power, he cannot violate the law. This rule cannot be violated, sir. AGM shall be held once in every year. So he will say, boss, do whatever you want, 31st December, take it and not. Okay. And first of all, this 30th November thing happened only because of your earlier permission given by him. So you can't use that to extend it to 28th February. Then you keep on extending. Then from 28th February, you will go somewhere else. You will go on. No, not allowed. I hope you have answered your question, G. Correct. Section 366 of General Classes Act, whatever section, I don't remember section numbers. No. If you are aware of it, I am happy because you have tried in the exam, G, not me. Okay. If you are happy, I am not unhappy. Yeah, see, Chennai, it's nothing, sir. In cold season also, we will be working with half sleeve shirt. Anyway, not a big deal. I am actually in an AC room where I had 23 degrees ACs. The temperature was set. I was in Delhi when I was working with Pricewaterhouse. I was in Delhi, and that was in November, December. I used to come for Ashok Leyland audit when I was at Pricewaterhouse. And I used to, in those days, we used to perform certain religious rituals in the open air. So in the hotel, Chennai fellows, we are all immune to cold. Because in anywhere we'll be happy, we'll think it's a great thing. I don't know is the answer. I'm not, this Hindi thing, I will inquire and get back to you. One, in my humble view, if you use English words for certain, technical terms, there will be no problem. Because, see, I don't know what is the Hindi word for annual general meeting. Seriously, I don't. Even in my mother tongue Tamil, I don't know what is annual general meeting. If you ask me, annual general meeting, I don't know. Honestly, in Tamil, I can figure it out. Okay. But I am seriously not aware. If you ask me offhand, I can't write. So, annual general meeting, like, you can write. In Hindi script, you write English word. Nothing wrong. I have seen many students do this in some other places. I have seen many students in Hindi medium will write in English. Sometimes they will write the Hindi ka thing and then write English in bracket. Not, boss, please check up with the institute. I am only giving my view. Because there are many there are many technical terms which you have to write. So that way Hindi is very difficult. See, Hindi, it's like this. Grammatically, you may not be very comfortable with English. So you can use the Hindi language and write the English words for technical part. Because see, I'm sure there are Hindi words for each one of these complicated concepts. So you will end up studying double, yeah. First of all, you will have to study AGM. Then you have to study what is Hindi ka AGM, what is Hindi ka Quorum, Hindi ka proxy. Okay, I'm not aware of these terms. If I knew that, then I would be in the parliament, a MP. If I only know Hindi, Baba, I will stand for election and win, yeah. I don't know Hindi now, that is the problem. See, Surendran is telling, in Tamil, he is giving the wording. Varudandra Podukootam. Amin Gupta is giving in Hindi. Let us see. Hindi Mahiyam Se Hum Sarakari School Se Pate Hai English Kabhi Nahi Padi. Okay, what to do? I can't do anything. I'm sorry. There are many people in Tamil Nadu who studied in the government school. They can't speak English also. What to do? Keep on crying. That's all. Amanji, keep on crying. What more can we do? Do something. Do something about it. See, I am reading Hindi script. Did you see that? I was reading Hindi. I was reading your Hindi script. So that much Hindi this idiot can learn. Little bit English you cannot learn. Huh? I am able to read your Hindi, what you wrote, and understand broadly what you have told. That much Hindi this idiot has learned. Huh? You are all youngsters. When I was your age, I learned French, I learned Sanskrit. Not boasting, I'm saying, learn. Please, learn one more language. English is one more language. You hate it. Learn it. Just like you are telling, these guys from my state, you keep on telling, don't hate Hindi, learn it. If you don't hate English, you learn it. It will be so useful to you in your life. It will be very useful to you if you go abroad. See, I was in Dubai. Of course, the beauty is in entire Middle East, they speak Hindi. So when an Indian like me lands up in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or Qatar, anywhere, straight away we all start talking Hindi only. Their Hindi is our national language. So, but with the drivers, servers, the coolies, and all, we speak in Hindi. Obviously, I can't go and talk to a sheikh in India. In the Emirati also, they speak in English. I speak in English with them. So there, you can't go and speak I can't speak at that level in Hindi with him. So when I go, they also very, very nicely, they're able to speak in English. You get what I mean? So that much Hindi I learned. Driver, thoda aage chal, thoda piche, dahine paaye. That much Hindi I know. Beyond that, don't expect me. Okay, so first AGM, coming back to the topic. So again, don't take this Hindi thing, yeah. Okay, please. Hindi, hamara desh ka bhash hai. It's a great language, wonderful language, greatest language in the world, yeah. I totally agree with it. Okay, but let's come back to the topic. First AGM. So first annual general meeting of the company should be held. First annual general meeting of the company should be held within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. We have already seen this when we studied accounts. Do you remember? Because accounts and AGM are closely linked. Why? Because one of the important matters that will be done at the AGM is, we'll be seeing it in ordinary business. You already know that. 4 matters. One of the matters is the approval of the financial accounts. So the accounts should be submitted within 6 months. But for the first financial year, 9 months. Now, here they are saying, for the first AGM alone, this exception is applicable only to first AGM. First AGM can be held within 9 months. Where a company holds its first annual general meeting, as aforesaid, it shall not be necessary for the company to hold any annual general meeting in the year of its incorporation. Now, you just go back to our session on accounts. There we said, where the company is incorporated after 1st January or later, we said the first financial year will end on the 31st of March, next following. Do you remember? It was already taught to you. Where the company's incorporation, that date falls on 1st January or later, 1 or later, then that company first annual general meeting will be 31st of March, next following. Meaning, suppose a company is incorporated today, means 2nd of January 2023. Then, though one financial year the incomplete year is ending on 31st March 23. Incomplete. It will be just not even 3 months. 2 months and, 29 days. Whatever it is. Because February has 28, 29 this year, I think. Okay. No, don't go there. So the point here is, so that is ignored. If the company was incorporated on 1st January or afterwards, straight away the first AGM, first year will end on 31st March 25. So 24 March, no, 25 March. In which case, the first AGM will be held on which day? 9 months. Am I correct? So 31/12. So in that case, what will happen? There will be no annual general meeting in the first financial year, first year. Am I correct? In the first calendar year. In the year of incorporation, there will be no AGM. That is okay. Sir, excuse me, sir, are you able to hear me? Because suddenly speaker was here. Sorry. Am I buffering? Video buffering? No? Thank you, sir. Okay, so coming now with this example, you will understand easy. If you remember, first financial year means the period ending on 31st day of March every year. Where a company is incorporated after the first day of January of a financial of a year, financial financial on or after first day, even on 1/1 if it is done. Financial year is the period ending on 31st day of the following year. Got it? So in that case, within 9 months, which means it will be held on 31/12 or earlier. So that company is exempted from holding AGM in the year of incorporation. That is, this third rule will not be violated. Exception to the third condition, that a company should have AGM every year. Exception, first AGM, if it is held in accordance with the section 96, where they say 9 months from the closing of first financial year. In certain cases, the first financial, see, suppose the company was incorporated on November 25, 2023, then such a company financial year will end on 31/3/24. The AGM should be held in 9 months from that date, na? So 31/12/2024. So no exemption. But if it is incorporated on 1st January or later, then automatically the financial year will end in the following year. AGM will held in the following. Okay. And one more important point, no extension of time can be granted. Extension of time cannot be granted by registrar for holding of first AGM. Okay. So you already know this, na, Abhiruchi Limited problem. We already did it. I'm just recalling. Was incorporated 11th December 2021. When should the company hold its AGM? Financial, see, first 11th December, na. So the first financial year will close on 31st March 2022. The company may hold its first AGM by 31st December 2022. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to change this year because old date, very old. So 11th December 2023, na, then first financial year will get over on 31st March. The company may hold its first AGM by. Now, would your answer be the same if you are informed that the company was incorporated on 11th February 2021? Now be careful. If it, I'm sorry, 11th February 2023. Now be careful. If it is 11th February 2023, what will happen? The first financial year. No, sorry. I will correct this again. Yeah, now this is correct. 11th February 2024. It's going to happen. 11th February 2024, what will happen? The first financial year will end not on 31/3/24. It will end on 31/3/25. Which case, the first AGM should be held by 31st December 2025. Hope this is clear. So there are two different rules, one for AGM normal and the other for AGM, shall we say? Okay. The other for AGM, first AGM. Okay. Now we saw absolutely. Correct. All of you are very correct. But the question is, when should the company hold its AGM? I can even say first AGM. So the correct answer for that is Anmol Patwa's answer, which is 31st December 2025. If the company was incorporated on 11th February 2024, the correct answer is 31st December 2025. The year will end on 31/3/25. The first AGM should be held within 9 months. So 31/12/2025, right? Now, we are going to see time and place for holding an AGM. Time and place for holding an AGM, right? That is important. When should it be held? Time and place. When, where? See, these rules are made, I don't know by who, what purpose. Don't ask me. I will explain to you the rules. And then one thing I'll tell you, today, all listed companies, to my knowledge, listed companies are preferring to have virtual meetings and e-vote or physical meeting and e-vote. Meaning, there will be a physical meeting. Physical meeting means where the shareholders come, everybody sits, there will be a meeting. And in addition to that, they will allow shareholders all over the world or country to come online and exercise their vote on a poll. How that will be done, we'll be seeing very shortly in this topic. How e-voting will be done, how postal ballot will be done, etc. Once e-voting is allowed, the concept is very simple. See, suppose one of your friends is setting up a poll. Simple. He or she wants a group of 15 of you to go to Nepal. So what she'll do? She'll immediately set up a Google, what is that? The Google monkey car thing. She'll put Nepal trip. All of you who are interested, say yes. Date, month, check. So immediately you will all go online to the link she is providing. Then you will exercise your, I think it can be done on WhatsApp also now. Just go there and just you have to choose. That's all. They will be coming. I will not be. Yes, no. That's all. Similar to that, the company will send a link. And in that link, they will have the items of agenda, explanation, everything. You read everything. Then finally, you have only one job. Yeah. Yes or no. If you are having 200 shares and you press approved, yes, then 200 votes. That is the only thing. Okay. And then it will be automatically electronically counted by the software. And there will be a scrutiny. I will explain all that when I come to electronic voting. But all I am trying to, why am I making this point? I am saying today, where the physical meeting is held really doesn't matter. In a digitalized world where geography is history, it doesn't really matter. Okay. But one thing they are very particular. AGM shall be held during business hours. That is between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. on any day that is not a national holiday. Okay. This is the physical meeting. Please understand. This whole thing will become complicated if it is a virtual meeting where you can attend at any time. Then they should be very clear. If it's a virtual meeting, then all timings are IST. So 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. Okay. So I can't operate on the basis of Eastern Standard Time and all that. I can't do that. Am I correct? So held during business hours, that is between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. on any day that is not national holiday, very particular. Okay. It should be held either at the registered office of the company or at some other place within the same city, town or village in which the registered office of the company is situated. So AGM of an unlisted company may be held at any place in India if consent is given in writing or by electronic mode by all the members in advance. Okay. Only this is applicable to unlisted companies. Am I correct? This is applicable only to unlisted company. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Still not getting used to this yet. So AGM of an unlisted company may be held at any place in India if consent is given in writing or by electronic mode by all members in advance, right? National holiday means and includes a day declared as national holiday by the central government. So this is usually done under the Negotiable Instruments Act, which I think is not in your syllabus now. So don't worry. Whatever it is, national holiday will be declared by the central government for a day. Not by your state government, but by the central government. There are 2 dates. Sometimes some states have holidays. For example, in January in Tamil Nadu, we have 3 days of holiday, whereas for a festival called Pongal, which you may not find in other states, so on and so forth. So, Dasara, you might have more days. We have only 2 days like that. So, it depends on. But central government holidays, common. Across the country, same. That holiday only will be considered as national holiday. The Rajveer Datta is still hung up about language. Okay. Sir, I did my schooling in a convent. Okay. I am only telling there are many students in Tamil Nadu who have studied in government school. They also come to do CA. Okay. Obviously, this is an unfair advantage for people like me who got educated in convent. For the first 5 years of my life, I studied in a convent. I was educated by the nuns and by the fathers. So I learned English. Then I came into a school where the English teaching was excellent until I studied what was known as ICSE. Then I studied ISC. I don't know if you know this. I studied ICSE up to 10th, then ISC, Indian School Certificate. So that till 12th. Then, of course, I got into the government scheme, BCom, and then CA. Then ACS, like that. Then I did my MS in Management Systems from the Birla Institute of Technology and Science, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, since you're asking me, I'm telling you, not me. Okay. There are a lot of people who studied in government schools. I can give you 100 examples of people who studied in Tamil medium schools in Tamil Nadu or Telugu medium school in Andhra, wherever. I'm not only telling Tamil Nadu. There are many examples of people who then went on to join top level engineering colleges and then went on to study in IIM and then went on to become CEO of large companies. So they just picked up the language as they went on. That's all. So they just went on and they picked it up. Okay. As they found that what was stopping them from doing what they wanted was language. They said, okay, I will learn that language, and they learned it. Instead of wasting time saying, this is my mother tongue, this is not my mother tongue, this is not alien language, they simply went and learned it and went on with their life. So simply let me not go into this again and again. I'm a 58-year-old man. Okay, you're young. You decide. It's your life. Okay? You decide. You want to change or you want to argue and waste your time. Changing is better. The more you change, the more you transform, the more you evolve, the better you become, the more you earn, the more you enjoy life, the more you keep arguing, the more people say, chalo yaar, let's not waste our time talking to the gentleman. Let him do what he wants, like that. They leave you. Okay? So this is the choice that we all have in our life, ma. Whether it is Srikant or Ajivir Datta or Ankur Patel or studied from pure Tamil medium or like me from convent, doesn't matter. You decided to do CA, na, then do what has to be done for it. So simply don't gripe about your past. See, when I was born, my right hand was pulled out of the socket. So it got twisted. Okay. To whom I can go and complain for this, you tell me. It's karma, yaar. You just bear with it and go on with your life. Don't waste time. Okay, don't waste time. If you don't know English, go and read some books. Learn English. If you don't want to learn English, don't learn English, yaar. Leave me. It's your bad luck or my good luck, whatever. Leave it. Okay, please. Got my point? If you don't want to learn English, don't learn. Who's forcing you? Don't learn. Okay. Chala. And just like if I don't want to learn Hindi, I'm not going. Why did I learn Hindi? Because I keep on traveling in the north. I stay in hotels. I have to keep moving around the Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, so many cities. The Bawra district in Madhya Pradesh, Odisha. I have to keep going Rayagada. So obviously I need to learn Hindi. Learn some bit in Hindi. I can get along with it. Need my when I go north, and I can come. That's it. Okay. So that much Hindi I learned. I didn't say I will not learn Hindi. Like that. Yeah, see, this should be the last time people are talking about language in this class. Okay? Because Ankur Patel only says, I'm also from government school, then he says, let's go. Better. Okay, my view is very simple. I'm not going to change this view. Okay? If you want to succeed, learn. Okay? Good. So, moving on. The central government may exempt any company from the provisions of this subsection subject to such conditions. See what happened recently when the pandemic was there, they exempted. When the pandemic came, they found that physically you cannot come. So they allowed companies to hold pure virtual meetings, meaning a complete online meeting where people attended online. To my knowledge, at least Reliance did it. They were all big. See, Reliance, imagine, lakhs and lakhs of shareholders. Reliance physical AGM. In those days, Reliance, when Dhirubhai was alive, physical AGM of Reliance was held in a football stadium. And imagine, in Mumbai, it was held in a football stadium. It became a big thing that a company holds its AGM in a football stadium. Because Dhirubhai was a great man. He used to honor his shareholders. So he said, you come. And they held it in a thing and he gave a speech. So always done. Now, in case of Section 8 company, the time and date and place of each AGM are decided upon beforehand by the board of directors. Okay, so the Section 8 company alone can decide the time and date and place. The same city, town, or village and registered office condition do not apply to him. So, but please be careful. You cannot hold it in a place other than the city, town, or village for a listed company. For an unlisted company, you can hold it in any place in India, provided all the members give their consent in advance. Okay. Again, if that exemption for the government company or Section 8 company, you want to claim it, then that company should be compliant. It should file its financial statement under 137, which you already saw, and 92, which we'll be seeing in the last class of this topic. Okay. In case of a government company, the central government may approve a place other than the registered office or some other place in the city. Obviously, because think about it. Let us say that the government is holding, let us say central government is holding 51%, other shares are held by 2 state governments. Then how many members will attend, Only 3 people will attend. Only 3 will attend. And that there will be 1 representative of the president and 2 representatives of the 2 governors. And there will be top ranking IAS officials, 2 from 2 states and Delhi. So the company may be in state of, let us say, Maharashtra or Gujarat, whatever. Though what the Delhi gentleman will say is, hey, I can't come all the way to Bombay or wherever it is, or Pune or Nagpur. You fly down. Let's have a meeting, Delhi, in my office. That's it over. So AGM over. We have only 3 guys. They will attend. Minutes will be taken. Company secretary will come. Couple of senior officers will come. Meeting will be over in the board meeting of the ministry. Go on. For GO will be passed to this effect that so-and-so meeting will be held at such a place properly. Everything will be documented. Now, this is regarding the normal AGM when it is called for by the board. AGM will be called by the board of directors. The board of directors will authorize the director to sign or the company secretary to sign and send the notice. That will happen at the board meeting. Thereafter, the AGM will be called. This is normal. Now, there are some situations where tribunal may call or direct the calling of an AGM of a company. The tribunal may call or direct the calling of an AGM of a company. Right? Why should they do that? If any default is made in holding the AGM under Section 96. Think about it. A set of people are the board of directors. They have done some frauds. They don't want to become accountable to the shareholders. They're simply not holding AGM. No, you are all the shareholders. Or maybe you are one of the majority shareholder. You are holding 30% stake in that company. You want an accountability. So you say, I want to hold an AGM, sir, and comply. Take over this company at least. Even to appoint yourself as a director. Am I correct? You need to hold an AGM. Right? Or an EGM. So whatever it is, tribunal has the power to call by itself or direct the calling of an AGM. When it can do, when default is made. How? On the application of any member. So any member, even one single member can apply. Even a single member can apply or a group of members can apply. There's no minimum limit. One member can also apply. Notwithstanding anything contained in this act or in the articles of the company, it can pass an order. Also, while telling, AGM should be held, tribunal will give an order directing the holding of an AGM. And they will also say, suppose the registered office is locked, they will give a direction saying it can be held in any other place. Or, for example, let us say that the company has only 5 members. Company has only 5 members. 3 members are absconding. They are the directors and members, they are absconding. 2 members are present. 2 members are present, but one is not in India. 2 members are present. One is not in India. Only 1 member is present. And that is in India. Now the other member says, you attend, be my proxy. Proxy means a person who is attending on behalf of another member. So local member will say, sir, 3 fellows are there, they are run away. We don't know where they are. Other gentleman is in US, he can't come. Only I am here. Can I become the quorum? So the tribunal will say, agreed. You hold the meeting with only 1 member present will be deemed to constitute the meeting. One member alone can hold a meeting. One more thing. Suppose there are only 4 members or 5 members. 4 have run away. One man is sitting in US. His agent, his advocate is doing all this. That advocate becomes the proxy. Can that single proxy then hold and attend the meeting? Yes. One member present in person or by proxy. So that US member will not come. Instead, his advocate as a proxy, as a representative, will constitute the meeting. Why is this meeting happening? Simple. They will reconstitute the board. They will say, so also they will call the auditor, get the accounts approved, and file it with the registrar. Because the registrar will say, hey, you are not filed your AGM return, you are not filed your annual return, you have not filed your financial statements. So you guys first to complain. So they will call the auditor, beg him to prepare the accounts in some way. Even he will qualify and he will say so and so fraud has happened. Everything he will say and finalize the accounts. And then he will give the final accounts audit, and the audited accounts will be taken, sent. So, and that will be approved in this AGM and then filed with the registrar. So all this is done for the purpose. So this is then the tribunal has the power to call. Suppose the tribunal sends a order. The director is not there, nobody to call. Then the tribunal itself will call. Okay, sorry for that unavoidable, unfortunate interruption. Somebody switched off the internet line and went away. The office now. So these guys are in a hurry to go. They switched off the internet line and gone. So sorry. Now, so this is over. Now, section 97, power of tribunal to call an AGM. Okay, this is power of tribunal to call meetings of members, meaning other than AGM. Friends, earlier 97 was about AGM. Call an AGM. Whereas 98 is any meetings of members, etc. Any other meeting. So in our list of meetings, we had an AGM, extraordinary general meeting. So extraordinary general meeting, even a class meeting can be called under this section 98. Here, tribunal may order a meeting of the company, a meeting. What I want you to understand is this is a meeting, meaning any meeting, right? Yeah. So this could be other than AGM, right, sir? Other than AGM. So it could be an AGM. It could even be a class meeting. Okay. It could be called, held, and conducted in such manner as the tribunal thinks fit. If for any reason it is impracticable to call the meeting of a company other than annual general meeting, okay, then in any manner in which meetings of the company may be called or to hold or conduct the meeting of the company, then the tribunal has the power to call. See, this will usually happen when the board of directors is absconding or irresponsible or not doing their job. Then we can make an application. Either suo motu means on its own motion, means it could be that some other case is being heard by the tribunal. At that time, they find company is not able to call any meeting. See, they are telling the applicants, hey, you guys have a meeting, pass a resolution and come here. So they come back and say, sir, how to pass a resolution, sir? They are not holding the meeting. So they say, oh, so that's how it is. Then he will pass an order. The tribunal will say, so to go, you pass the order. Or any director of the company or a member of the company will apply. So they're saying, hey, we need to pass certain resolutions. These people are not holding. So please note, here, application can be made by director also. Whereas in 97, only by member. Whereas in 98, even a director can apply. That is, there could be 5 directors, out of which 3 may be rogues, 2 may be good people. But then they cannot call, or just maybe 1 director, we cannot call. So he may go to the tribunal and pray for calling of an AGM. Or member can also go. In addition to any other directions, they can give ancillary or consequential directions. For example, like when you were to hold it, etc. Who will bear the expenses? All that can be ordered by the tribunal. And including a direction that one member or proxy member in person or proxy shall be deemed to constitute a meeting. So here also, one member, whether in person or proxy, can constitute or be deemed to constitute a meeting. So here also, any meeting called and held and conducted in accordance with any order made under this section shall for all purposes be deemed to be a meeting. Okay. So if you're very particular about differences, we can talk about it. But basically, it's 97 is for AGM, 98 is for EGM. 97 member should apply. 98, even a suo motu or application of director or member can also. Here, where there is a default in holding, AGM, here, where it is impracticable to call a meeting due to non-availability of director, whatever, then any section, if you find we are unable to call a meeting because of that, go to the tribunal and say, sufficient number of directors are not there, sufficient number of members are not there, whatever. You go there, they will pass an order calling a meeting, hold the meeting. Okay. One sec. Yeah. Going on. I'm going on. Can I go on? So there's a punishment for default in complying with the provisions of 96 to 98. 96 deals with AGM. 97, power of tribunal to hold a call or hold an AGM. 98, power of tribunal to call any other meeting. Any meeting, a meeting. So whatever it is, if there is any default in holding a meeting in accordance with section 96, 97 or 98, there is a penalty. The company and every officer up to 1 lakh. In case of a continuing offense, okay, further 5,000 rupees for every day during which such default continues. In fact, sometimes when clients come, no, some new clients come, they have not held the AGM for 2 or 3 years. When we calculate the fine now, it will be huge. It will be huge because there is no upper limit for this 5,000. Do you notice that? There is no upper limit. Usually, if you see this continuing offenses, when they say continuing default, now they will always say up to. Here there is no up to. So up to date, 5,000 rupees per day. It will be huge. So what we do normally in those cases is we tell them to close the company and file for insolvency and go. What else to do? Or else you have to go to very special case. I don't know, very difficult to get waiver and I don't know. Penalty is very stiff, which is why not holding AGM is not a good idea. Default in holding. If you are a director of a company or I think please advise later on in your life, please advise them never to skip. Even if they have a fight with the auditor, let the fight be resolved in some way and let the filing go on. Don't keep the filing pending. Now, every listed company is expected to file a report on the annual general meeting. This is applicable only to listed companies. The report shall be prepared in form number MGT 15. Okay. And that it's nothing but information about the AGM, how it was conducted, and a confirmation to the effect that the meeting was convened, held, and conducted. They make it compulsory for listed companies because listed companies, there is a public interest now. Shareholders are there, investors are there. People like me who may want to invest will be there, who want to see the balance sheets. So these companies have to hold an AGM and confirm that they have held it as per the provisions of this Act. Okay, when should that report be filed? Within 30 days of conclusion of the AGM. Friends, this is not the annual return. That is different. That is applicable to all companies. It is filed within 60 days from the date of AGM or the date on which the AGM ought to have been held. This is a report only applicable to listed companies on the annual general meeting. So basically, the report of the AGM will be in this manner. It is in addition to the minutes of the general meeting. The report should be signed by and dated by the chairman of the meeting. In case he is not in India or indisposed, then any 2 directors, one of whom shall be managing director. And if there is one company secretary, the company secretary. And in that report, what will you give? The day, date, hour, and venue of the AGM. Who was the chairman? Number of members. Please note, attendance need not be given. Number of members attending the meeting. Say 200 people, 50 people, 5 people, whatever. Confirmation of quorum. That can easily be done. Number of members will easily tell you that because you'll have to give number of members in person, in proxy, by proxy. Okay. And compliance with respect to compliance with the acts and rules, etc., which we will see later. Number of days of notice, rule for quorum, rule for proxy, all that should be complied. Business transacted and the result, meaning there will be say 3 items of agenda, then you should write what is that item, then approved like that, whether it was approved or. Then particulars with respect to any adjournment, in case there was an adjournment or postponement, you have to mention that. Any other points relevant for inclusion, they will simply put nil, nothing. It should be a fair and correct summary of the proceedings of the meeting. So this is in addition to the minutes. This is not the minutes. In addition to that, there will be minutes. Right? In case you do not find, see, I've skipped the section D. See that? I've gone to 121. Why? Because we have seen AGM now. I thought logically you should know report on AGM 121. If in case you don't file within 30 days, then company is liable to a fine of up to 1 lakh rupees. In case of continuing default, 500. But here there's a maximum of 5 lakhs. 5 lakh rupees. Okay. Every officer of the company who's in default, fine. This is for company now. Officer in default, 25,000. Again, 500 up to 1 lakh. For the company, maximum is officer 1 lakh. Which is why I humbly suggest, if you are a director or a CFO, or because CFO is an officer in default, please see to it that these are all complied correctly. Don't avoid filing it. So we have seen AGM. We will quickly see EGM also. Extraordinary general meetings. All general meetings other than AGM are called EGM. Extraordinary meeting. Now, EGM, there is no compulsion. You can have, there could be 1 year when company does not have any EGM. Why? Because all matters are transacted at AGM itself. They are planned in such a way that all other approvals they've got, everything. They've folded arms, they say bye to the members, meet them again only in next year. Why you want to keep calling them again and again? But if you still feel that you need to pass a resolution, some decision has to be taken, then you can hold a EGM, extraordinary general meeting, right? So the board may, whenever it deems fit, call an EGM. Whenever you want. See, it is an enabling provision. If you want, you call. Otherwise, don't. For example, company wants to change its objects clause. AGM already over. You want to do it in December. Now you have to, for changing the objects clause, you have to amend the memorandum. For that, you have to pass a special resolution. Do you remember? So for that, what you have to do? Call for an EGM. Who will call? The board will call. Whenever it deems fit, whenever it wants. Now, the board may, whenever it deems fit, call. Here, the board shall call an EGM at the requisition made by the requisite number of members. So the board shall call an EGM. Here, shall. Are you able to see the difference between the two words? Earlier, I might have shown you that the word shall means it is, I think, mandatory. Do you remember? Shall. Here again, you find the words may and shall are used. May is an option. Whenever the word may is used, there is an option. Option means choice. You have a choice. You can either have or not have. Shall. Then no choice. Compulsory. Okay. Please remember this. May, option or choice is there. Shall, no choice. Compulsory. Now, when can an EGM be held? Suo motu. By the board, suo motu, on its own motion, whenever it deems fit. As I gave you one example, no? Whatever. Obviously, they won't call an EGM for their fun or entertainment. It will be a duty because they need to get a special resolution or an ordinary resolution to continue with their life. They'll call. And an EGM shall be held at a place within India. See, unlike AGM, said at the registered office or in the same CTV, city, town or village, here, any place, at a place within India. Exception, the EGM of a wholly owned subsidiary of a company incorporated outside India. So, in case of specified IFSC private company, the board may, subject to the consent of all the shareholders, conduct its extraordinary general meeting at any place within or outside India. So if a wholly owned subsidiary of a company incorporated outside India, the EGM can be held anywhere in the world, within or outside India. But other than that, it should be held only within India. I already mentioned what is suo motu, no? On its own motion. Meaning, sir, you are attending this class suo motu on your own motion, your own intention, because you want to, whenever you want to. You are not doing it because somebody is telling you to do it. Suo motu means on its own motion. On its own motion. Whenever it, but it's on its decision. Okay. Suo means by itself. Motu, on its own motion, by its own decision. Okay. Have you understood suo motu, Mr. Raman? Now, this is normal. Where the board wants to hold, simply matter of calling, they come as the resolution go. Now, calling of EGM at the requisition of members, meaning members want to have a requisition meeting, or when is it compulsory? When the members are requiring it, requisitioning it, demanding it. So the board shall call an EGM at the requisition made by the requisite number of members. So they prescribed a minimum number of members. If that minimum number is asking the company to hold an EGM, at that time the board shall call an EGM. You cannot, no option. You have to call. You can't say, sorry boss, no. No. So first you should know what is the requisite number of members. Very important from the exam point of view. This is very important. Frequently tested area. Please concentrate. If you have any doubt, ask me, I will let you. So first, requisitionist meeting. So EGM by the board covered. EGM by board covered. EGM by requisition now being covered. 100 subsection 1, EGM by the board. 100 subsection 2 to 6, EGM by requisition. So what is the requisite? Requisite means another word. Requisite means required. Requisite means required. The required number of members. Required. Okay. Number B. So the company having a share capital, such number of members who hold on the date of the receipt of the requisition not less than 1/10 of such of the paid up share capital of the company as on that date carries the right of voting. Okay. So such a number of members who hold on the date of receipt of the requisition not less than 1/10 of such of the paid up share capital of the company as on that date carries the right of voting. Right? So 1/10 of the paid up share capital carrying the right of voting. So there is a right of voting should not be restricted on those shares. So 1/10, suppose the company has issued, for example, theory, no such company I know, where somebody was asking this doubt in DVS. Suppose the company has issued shares where the shareholders will get compulsory 20% dividend every year in a year of profit. In an year of profit, they'll get 20% dividend. Sufficient profit, they get. Insufficient profit, nobody will get. 20% dividend, or put it differently. In an year of profit, they will get 20% more than the other shareholders. But no voting rights. Think about it. No voting rights. But they will get compulsorily 20% more than the other. Suppose the company is declaring 70% dividend to the other shareholders. Means 7 rupees. These fellows will get 20% more. That is 7%. Okay. So 8.4% they will get. 1.4. 0.7 plus 0.7, 1.4. 8.4% they will get. Okay. 84% they will get. Which is, for that, they are sacrificing their right. So they don't have any right of voting, in which case their shares will not be counted for paid up share capital. Only those members who have the right of voting, you have to take. Total of that paid up share capital, 1/10. Example, a company is having 5 lakh shares, all are capable of voting. 5 lakh shares. 5 lakh shares. So members holding 1/10 of the paid up capital, 50,000. Even one member or more can apply. That is a requisite number for company having share capital. Company not having share capital, such number of members who have not less than 1/10 of the total voting power of all the members. Company does not have company does not have shares. Then the company has 50 members, 50. Then 1/10 of total voting power will be 5 members. They are having 5 members, have 1/10. So 5 or more can apply. The minimum requisite is 5. That is 1/10 of the total voting. That is why I explained to you, in the case of a company not having share capital, how it will be done. In the case of a company not having share capital, there will be no shares. Therefore, votes will be based on person only. So one person, one vote. 50 people, 50 votes. Meeting is there, one man raises that, one vote. So 50. So minimum how many? Not less than 1/10 of the total voting power. So 50 is the total voting power. 1/10, 5. So at least 5 members should lie. This is how I have calculated. Now, the requisition shall set out the matters. Clearly say what is it you want. See, this requisition could include removal of a director also. I'm not joking. Many times it will be removal of director. That is, the members find that the company is being mismanaged by one fellow. So what they will do, they will want to attend the AGM and remove him. It is not possible because every time we are pushing him into the non-rotational, whatever you call that, those who are not liable to retire by rotation category. So how to remove this guy? So they want to hold an extraordinary general meeting, pass a resolution removing him. For that, obviously, will the board of directors ever hold that meeting? You tell me. No. So they won't even hold that AGM for with this matter. That is when the requisition will be sent. They will say, we feel that Mr. So-and-so has mismanaged the company. Therefore, we as the requisitioners want to remove him as a director. In accordance with the Companies Act, for this purpose, we want to hold a meeting. That's all. We are not saying remove him. We are saying let's have a meeting. At the meeting, as the members, we will discuss it. All the members will inform what is our view. Then if the members want, we'll pass an order resolution and we'll remove him. For that, we need a meeting. Call it. So they're sending a requisition, right? It should be signed by the requisitionist and sent to the registered office of the company. Now, the requisition may be in writing or through electronic mode. If it is in electronic mode, you will simply attach the signed requisition with the mail and you'll send it. The requisition shall be provided at least 21 clear days prior to the proposed date of such EGM. So what they are trying to say is the members fix an EGM and they say we want it on that day. And they, at least 21 clear days before that, they should send it to the board. Now, any reasonable expenses incurred by the requisitionist in calling a meeting on the failure shall be reimbursed to them. Okay, we'll come to this topic a little later. Right now, let's look at how this gels. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to cover EGM and then give a small break for 5 minutes. Okay, let's finish this topic and then I'll give a break. First point, in all cases, this is very, very important. Okay, this is very, very important. Sorry. This date is very, very important. Date of receipt of a valid requisition. So, deposit of requisition, 21 clear days. Am I correct? Within 21 days, board has to proceed to call a meeting. See, they are given 21 days time to call. Right? So, all they are saying is, in this requisition, you cannot demand You cannot demand the board to call a meeting within, say, next week. No. So the gap between your proposed date and the date of requisition should be 21 days. But the board is actually having 45 days to hold the meeting. So the board wants to do it, they can call and hold within 45 days. In my humble view, there is a bit of an unnecessary anomaly here. Why? Because why should the requisitionist mention the proposed date in the requisition? All they have to say is, we want to have a meeting. Right? Now, in the old law, it was very clear. You made your requisition. Within 21 days, the board should proceed to call a meeting so as to hold it within 45 days. This is the intention. So the board is having 21 days to consider, etc., and call the meeting. So long as the requisition, the EGM is held within 45 days. So 45 days is the upper limit for the board. And remember, that meeting, they should give 21 clear days notice also. So the way, if you say, suppose these people give 21 clear days notice, want it to be held after that, when will the board have the time to give notice? Yeah, because 21 days, he is giving a date fixer. So I think again, as usual, our friends have confused in the rule. My humble view is, correct view is, the date of deposit of requisition should be considered. The board is given 21 days time to call so as to hold the meeting within 45 days. This is the understanding, but according to them, they are saying that 21 days should be there between the date of requisition and the proposed date. Okay, whatever it is, 45 days is the limit. From which date? 45 days from the date of receipt of a valid requisition. So you deposit the requisition, from that day, the board of directors has 45 days to call and conduct, to call and to hold, right? 45 days, they do nothing. They simply keep quiet. Nothing is done. Then, on failure by board, the requisitionists themselves may call and hold the AGM within 3 months from the date of receipt of a valid resolution. All this is beginning here. Do you notice that? All these 21, 45, 3 months, everything is beginning from here only. Means all dates and days are to be, periods are to be counted from the date of receipt of valid. So which is this point? From here, the board to call within 21 days, to hold within 45 days. In case they don't, on failure by board, then the requisitions themselves, means they can themselves give a notice, give 21 days notice to all the members. All the members come. The requisitionist explains the situation. Then all the members say, nonsense, that fellow should not be a director. Let us remove him. Then they pass the resolution. Done. Matter is transacted. Okay. The board of directors cannot say, we didn't call, how you can come? They can. Because, first of all, it is a violation of the board's duty. Am I correct? Because what does the rule say? Where a meeting is to be held on requisition, the board shall call an EGM. So by not calling this EGM within 45 days, they have violated the law. No, that is okay. They will be punished, etc., etc. But what will the requisitionists do? The law says, you hold your own meeting, enjoy, have a meeting. Now, immediately you will ask, sir, to call a meeting means I have to send notice. When the fellows come, at least one samosa and tea I have to pay him. Say, come on, man, you just can't call people. Samosa, one tea, something. Some reasonable expenses incurred by the requisitionist in calling a meeting on failure by the board shall be reimbursed to the requisitionist by the company. So what are reasonable? Means you can't order from Dutch Quorum and you. Something, this thing, at least a cup of tea, boss. And to discuss when you rent for venue, etc., pay stationery cost, all that. Reasonable expenses can be claimed. But that is paid for the company now, but it cannot be an expense of the company, because whose fault is it? You are given enough time to hold, but you have not done it. So the directors who are in default will have to reimburse this amount to the company. So the amount will be paid by the company, but then it has to collect it from, that shall be deducted from any fee or other remuneration payable to the director. So if you're going to pay him some salary, first you deduct this expense and then pay. Decide. Okay. So this is a very interesting section. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So such a meeting shall be called and held in the same manner as the normal meeting, normal notice, quorum, etc., etc. Except for quorum, there is a slightly different rule for this, but when you come there, you will understand. Other than that, everything is the same. The notice shall specify the place, day, and hour of the meeting and the business. The requisition is convene the meeting at the registered office or in the same city or town, they say. They are not included village, I don't know why. So where the registered office is situated, and such meeting could be convened on any day except national holiday. Please note, for normal AGM, they said during business hours. Here, it should not be on a national holiday, and it can even be it can be out of the business hours also, because they want to give a concession here, because see, the requisitionists themselves may be some individuals. They may be going for a job. So they may hold it after that, 6 p.m. like that, they can have. Right. Okay. Now, the notice shall be signed by all the requisitionists, by a requisitionist duly authorized in writing by all other requisitionists, or by sending an electronic request attaching scanned copy of duly signed requisition. No problem. Okay. If the resolution is to be proposed as a special resolution, then you have to comply with 114, meaning you should mention that it has to be a special resolution, etc. Special business, you have to give explanatory statement on it. This means that the intention to propose the resolution must be duly specified. We will see that any business to be transacted at an AGM is a special business. It requires an extraordinary general meeting. So when the AGM is called by the board, if it is special business, an explanatory statement is to be given. But when the requisitionists are calling, no such explanatory statement has to be annexed. There is an exemption. Normally, when the board is calling, if it is a special business, we'll see that in detail in the next class. Right now, 4 matters at AGM, ordinary. Everything else at AGM, any other matter at any other meeting, special. So all special business, not confused with special resolution. This is special business. Any special business, you have to give an explanatory statement if it is called by the board. But where it is being called by the requisitionist, then explanatory statement need not be annexed. The requisitionists may disclose the reasons, or they may simply keep quiet, and when they come for the meeting, they can tell. Okay. But usually they will give a detailed covering letter explaining why and all. Okay. So the notice shall be given to those members whose names appear in the register of members of the company within 3 days on which the requisitionist deposit with the company a valid requisition. So you deposit it today, then within 3 days, who are all the members, they should get. Okay. If the meeting is not convened by the board, then the board of directors should give a list of members together with the register office, and it should be given as on the 25th day from the date of receipt of valid requisition, together with any changes before the expiry of 45 days. Okay. So whenever you want to call, you will get a list of members, give a notice. The notice shall be given by speed post, register post, or electronic mail. Any accidental omission will not invalidate the proceedings of the meeting. Suppose one member is left out accidentally, no problem. Intentionally, no. So these are the general rules for EGM. Let us look at any queries and then I'll give a break. Is there any limit for number of EGM in a year or in any financial? Madam, as far as general meetings are concerned, please, Ramadevi, please don't worry about financial year. All year with respect to general meeting, always calendar year. January to December. Okay? Financial year, you don't confuse. You'll go mad. Don't do that. As far as meetings are concerned, year means calendar year. That's all. If we want financial year, we will tell you financial year. As far as EGM is concerned, to answer your question, no limit. You want to have one in every quarter, have. Enjoy. Okay. But who will do it, you tell me? Only when you become CFO of a company, you will remember this class. Can I have 15 meetings in a year? Have. But you have to give 21 clear days notice. So your entire life will be there only holding. So what generally CFOs intelligently they will do, they'll collect items of agenda. Once they get 5 or 6 items together, they will hold one EGM and finish it up. So that is how normally intelligent CFOs and company secretaries will plan accordingly. Because calling an EGM and holding it, even electronic voting, money. Because you have to appoint scrutineer, you have to do all nonsense, takes money. Minimum charge is there. Minimum fixed cost is there. So we have to be very careful about it, but there is no limit. What is use of date or proposed date by member? It seems a bit used. Exactly. I am with you. I am with you. I am with you. What to do? Okay, so is there any eligibility to be requisition? Yes, sir, there is an eligibility. Hello, Baba. Don't do this to me. To be a requisitionist, you have to be a member, ma. That's all. To be a requisitionist, you have to be a member with voting right. That's all. Even one share is okay. For that, there is no eligibility. If that is your doubt, even one share is okay, provided it has voting right. But that, see, you can be a requisitionist, but together, the requisitionists together should hold not less than 1/10 of the paid share capital. If the proposed date is more than 45 days, after then when are the directors supposed to call the meeting? Sir, that's what I'm telling. That's what you are only raising this query to make your earlier point. Baba, normally they will not give the date, ma'am. They will ask them to hold it ASAP. Then the board has to do it ASAP. The law gives the board 45 days to hold. Okay. 21 days to call, 21 days to call, 45 days to hold, which means if the members give a date which is beyond 45 days, if I am the board of directors, you know what I will tell? It is invalid. The members have not complied with the requirements of section 100, subsection 2. I will file a petition with the tribunal and ask them to declare this to be null and void and get away with it. So hopefully you should not advise the members to hold beyond 45 days. Then the board will simply say, sir, they are not complying with it like that. It's unnecessary confusion. Best thing for the requisitionist, we want to have an EGM, hold it. That's all. Automatically the time limits will start applying. 21 days to call, 45 days to hold. In case of any emergency meeting, should count on AGM. Aman, I'm not able to understand what you're saying. And you are the man who wanted a break. So no, I'm giving a break. 5 minutes ka break. After that, we will take up again. Sir, break. So we have discussed the topic of meetings. We saw the types of meetings, AG, and of course, board meeting, general meeting, class meeting. Then we got into general meetings. There we saw two types, AGM and EGM. We discussed the rules relating to AGM and EGM broadly, right? Finally, we ended up with the calling of an EGM by the board on the requisition of members. Okay, requisition means request. So, requisition could also mean requisition. Requisite means required. Okay, requisition means request. Requisition means, another word is request. What the members are actually doing is request, right? They are requesting the board to call. So, Amanji is asking a good question. Says, in case of any emergency meeting, should count on AGM. Though I'm unable to understand what he's asking, I'm trying to guess what he's trying to say is, if there is an emergency, can I have an EGM? Yes, they can't count on AGM, as you say. You have to have an EGM. That is why EGM is there. When there is an emergency, but there is nothing called emergency meeting. Okay, please, in the exam, please do not ever write the word emergency meeting. There is no meeting called emergency meeting. EGM is not an emergency meeting. You have to give 21 clear days notice, etc., etc. Then, see, normally you hold an AGM. Suppose some matter is coming up which needs resolution. You can hold an AGM. Okay, that's an extraordinary general meeting. Okay. If it is an emergency also, you have to give 21 days notice. Otherwise, shorter notice should be given. That is emergency. Even for AGM, you can give shorter notice. Right. So, normally, because I've had cases where many students have written emergency meeting. Instead of EGM, they have written emergency meeting. Don't do that. This extraordinary general meeting. Ordinary, extraordinary. Okay. Now, we are moving on to the next logical step, which is the manner in which any meeting is to be conducted, any general meeting is to be conducted, any general meeting. This is common. The provisions we are now going to discuss are common for both EGM and AGM, but for some small variations, which we will see then and there. So, some cases, certain rule will change for EGM. By and large, these rules are applicable for AGM, but small changes will be there for EGM. That's all. Very small. Okay. Otherwise, bulk of it is applicable to general meetings. Before we go into the rules of meeting, I always ask my students this question: who is the company? In fact, in a normal physical class, this particular discussion takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And it is worth it because this question will be answered by different companies in different ways. This question will be answered by different students in different ways. For example, immediately students will say, who is the company? Immediately they will say, the board of directors. No way. The board of directors is not the company. The board of directors is only the brain. They are the people who are managing the company. They are not the owners. Okay. Then some students will say, sir, the shareholders are the company. Agreed. I am with you. But do I need all the, shareholder member? So all the members are there, the company? All. Means if I want to do something, if I need to pass a resolution, should I get all the members to attend? No need. No need. If those members attending majority says yes, it's over. So basically the company is the majority of its members. But suppose the company has 100 people. Should 51 agree? No need. Only majority of its members who are passing a resolution at a validly convened, constituted, conducted meeting. So the company is nothing but a majority of its members passing a resolution at a validly convened, constituted and conducted meeting. Okay. So for the company to do something, that decision should have been taken by way of a resolution passed at a validly convened, constituted, conducted meeting. That is why meetings are very, very important. Provisions of meetings are very, very important. Because in case of listed company, dispute between directors, then in that company you will become authority in this topic. Why? Because every day discussion will go on, whether this can be done, that can be done. And you will become as knowledgeable about company law as a company secretary. But mother go, because your MD, you cannot say, sir, sir, in our syllabus it was not included, sir. It was part of my course, not part of my core subject, therefore I don't know. Then he will hire a guy who knows both. Okay. So you will learn. You will go home, sit in the night and learn and come back. If at that time you can use my notes also if you want. Okay. Don't worry. Because the act won't change. Because believe me, much of this is the same as what it was in the old law. Okay. So Mr. Rutraj, your example is not clear to me. But what you're trying to say, I think, is the tusk is the directors. The tusk is the elephant. The teeth which are inside are the members. That's what you're trying to say, is different teeth. Okay. How many teeth does elephant have, do you know? Other than if you include the trunk, 4. They have only 4 teeth. Only to grind. That's all. Yeah. Unlike us, we have 4 molars. We have an incisor, 2 canines. Nothing. Only 4. 2. So that's inside. The tusks are outside. The other teeth are inside. Anyway. Now, so basically, our knowledge should be like, what is the correct method for convening a meeting? Convening means calling. Convene. Convener, we say, na? One who is calling the meeting is called convener. So convene the meeting. Then constitute, meaning for valid meeting, how many people should be there? Who can attend, who cannot attend, how governor will attend, how president will attend, all that will be answered by constitute. Finally, conduct, meaning what is the business to be transacted, how the resolution should be passed, what are the types of resolution, all that will be coming in business. Chairman, adjournment, proxy, poll, all that will come in business. Proxy will come between the two, constitute and conduct. Why? Because to constitute also, you need to know a little about proxy, and conducting 100% proxy will control. Later on, I will show, not in this class, in another class, next class, I will show that a single proxy can control a meeting. A single proxy can control a meeting. Whereas members attending in person cannot do anything. That is the beauty of corporate democracy. Why? Because in company, votes are not based on number of people, but on number of shares. So a proxy who controls majority shares will have more power than a member attending in person. Okay, this is, if you don't understand it, chill, no problem. But when you come to the topic, you will suddenly realize, oh, okay, correct. A single proxy can enter the meeting and change the matters completely. Okay, I will show you. That's why I call this topic corporate dynamics. Okay. Now, first we begin with what is known as convene. So convening requires a notice. Notice. Okay. If you want to remember requisitionist meeting is 100. From now on, I'll be going almost section order. Almost. So you can feel comfortable. Next is 101. So EGM you can remember 100, century. Like that you try to remember. Somebody was asking, how do I remember section numbers, sir? One way is, some way mnemonics, 100 you cannot forget. 100 is a century. So I will know that 100. Keep on thinking, that's all. If you take the book only once in a week, you will not remember. But every day if you read a little bit, you link it. See, the brain remembers by repetition. The brain remembers by linking. See, I'm also a psychologist. I'm a master of MSc in psychology. Generally, the short-term memory, what you are now going to need for this subject is called short-term memory. Rarely it will be long-term memory. Believe me when I say that. You'll forget it. In the exam, you'll remember well. But later on, say 2-3 years later, if I meet you and you're a senior finance officer in a large company, you will say, sir, I remember you taught me company law. Now I don't remember anything, sir. I'll say, correct. That's how it should be. If you don't need it, don't remember it. But this has to go into your short-term memory till the exam. So short-term memory only by repetition. You have to read it again and again. And you have to read the same content again and again. So be very choosy. Which one are you going to read? Are you going to read one content? You should take and read that. And you should read it many times. Then repetition, you'll remember it. So read it aloud. Read it, look at it. Read it, look at it. Your own voice, heard, memory, look. Solid reinforcement. You'll remember it better. So like the many methods are there. Linking is called mnemonic method, where, for example, EGM 100. Now, from 100, I'll move this way, that way 10. So 101 notice. Just linking it. 100 EGM, 101 notice. So EGM will become your frame of reference. Because that you know for sure. EGM 100. Then 101 notice. Like that. So that is how you remember section. If you want to remember. If you don't want to remember section number, no problem. If you don't write section number, they won't sort of deduct marks. But if you write, you will get half mark more. Impress the examiner, overall impression. All that will be adding. So if you are a guy who was looking at 50 to 60, see, you want to get above 60, then section number. But if you are happy with 50, then not writing section number is not good. But you should know the provision. There, if you make a mistake, okay. God only can help. Okay. Not knowing section number is okay. But if you want to remember, you can just remember by linking. So, company like AGM, is it mandatory to hold mandatory? Anna, Madam Ramadevi ji, I told you, no, AGM means if you want, you can have. So, where is the mandatory, ma? Are you able to understand? Board may, whenever it deems fit. Whereas, every company shall have an AGM every year. Okay, have you understood? Can you confirm to me that you have understood? EGM is not mandatory. AGM is mandatory. Okay. Parth Rana is now coming in suddenly. Welcome, sir. Is it a majority? Not necessarily, ma. See, at that meeting, this guy should be holding majority. Are you able to understand? At that meeting, this guy should be holding majority. That's how. A proxy need not hold majority. He is attending a meeting. At that meeting, the number of shareholders are there now who are attending. When you count their shareholding, if the proxy is controlling majority, he is winner. He need not hold majority stake. This is the beauty. To answer your question, Parth, are you able to understand? But if he is holding majority of the paid up share capital, then that meeting itself is meaningless. The proxy simply attends, will be sitting and watching the fun. All that, and then finally I'll say, Mr. Chairman, I'll tell you when you come to poll, no, I'll show you how beautifully the proxy will play this game. I'll show you. Wait for it. Just hold on. Huh? Next class, you'll hear this beautiful story of how a single proxy can come in, just come and sit and watch, and then suddenly change the meeting. Okay. Chalo. Now. Meeting notice. Okay. Length of notice, meaning how many days? Not less than 21 clear days. So today morning when I went out for a walk around 6 o'clock in the morning, I found that it was very cloudy. The sun was not visible. So what do you mean by clear days? Meaning sun should be clearly visible, clear day? No. Clear days means the date on which the notice is served and the date of meeting are excluded for sending the notice. So the gap between the date of notice and the date of meeting should be clearly 21. Meaning you start counting 21, you date of receipt of notice, next day count 1, 2, 3, 4, 21. Then The last 21, then next day or any other day only you can have the meeting. Okay, so 21 days means notice which is on the date on which notice is served and the date of the meeting are excluded. Please note, it is date on which notice is served, not date of notice. So what do you mean by served? Served means it has to reach the member. So date on which the notice is received by the member, there is a notice. But suppose you're sending by ordinary post, where a notice of general meeting is sent by post. It shall be deemed to be served at the expiration of 48 hours after the letter containing the same is posted. You studied it in incorporation. When we studied incorporation, I taught you. At the time I mentioned this will become relevant when we come to AGM notice or GM notice. So you are the company, sir. You are posting the AGM notices by post. Then from the time of posting, you count 48 hours. On the expiration of 48 hours, the letter containing the same is deemed to have been served. Deemed. So actually, I have not got it, not my problem. All the company needs to do is have proof of posting. This is called certificate of posting. So there will be a list of addresses and names. So that will be, the chop will be fixed by the post office and they will acknowledge. For these addresses, we have received 500 covers. That is the time, very important. In a court of law, this becomes evidence. I have done it many cases. I have gone to the post office and told the postmaster, sir, please give me proof of time. What time did I deliver it to you? 3:15. 3:15. So I keep it with me. So tomorrow, if it is questioned, okay, I can always say it was served 21 clear days. How do you know? How do you say? Boss, I took it to the general post office at so and so time. Okay, it was given. From there, you count 48 hours. So let us say that on 2nd of January, I gave it. So 48 hours. So 3rd January, 4th January. 4th January, 3:14 p.m., 48 hours get over. So that day should not be included. 4th January should not be included. Are you able to understand? So my AGM notice is dated 2nd. Okay, just giving an example. Nobody will hold an AGM now. So it's okay, ma. Let's take a valid example. July 2nd. My AGM notice is dated. My general meeting notice is dated July 2nd. I post it on July 2nd. So 2nd to 3rd, 3rd to 4th. 48 hours will be over on 4th of July. 4th of July. Then from 5th of July, you have to start counting 21 days. 5th of July. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 21 days. Okay. Now 25 is also to be excluded. That is the 21st day. 26th onwards, you can have any day. You can have it on 26th. You can have it on 27, 28, no problem. But you cannot have it on 25 or earlier. That is called clear days. So you understood clear days? 20, you can say that 23 and all. My suggestion, don't take 23 and all that because this is 48 hours is only for posting. Now the whole thing changes when I'm sending it by email. Baba. Suppose I'm sending the notice by email. I can do that. I can send it by electronic means. So I press the switch. It goes today. Maximum, if I'm doing it at 12 o'clock midnight, another 2 minutes will be over. For example, he might get it next day. That's all. So that 2 days are to be excluded. Today, the date of the notice, next day. But don't take that risk. So my suggestion, if it is post, 48 hours. If it is electronic means, time will be known. There, this deeming, bumming cannot be used. Please understand. For electronic means, when you're sending an email, the time is noted. So be careful. So when you press the send button, you will know when it was received by that gentleman or lady, as the case may be. So that time you have to count. That day you should not take. That day you should not take. From the next day, start counting 21 days. That last 21st day, leave. After that, you start. You got it, Mr. Yadav? Astuta Yadav. So 23 day, no, don't put 23 and all. 21 clear days. How to count? Don't include the date of service and the date of meeting. That's all. Date of service for postage, it is 48 hours deeming. For electronic means you will know what is the time. For each shareholder, you will know. If you don't know, your system administration will have to give it to you. He has to take out the electronic record, check up and give. For each email ID, he has to give. By and large, on an average, it will all be reached on the same day. Maximum, some people will get it next day. Take it as, be on the safer side. Don't include that day also. Thereafter, start counting. Then you put it. 21 clear days. Date of meeting should be 22nd or after, actually. Not on 21st day. Okay. So that way, it's a very, very simple provision. 21 clear days. So as I told you, date of posting, 48 hours, date of service, not to be included. Start counting 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. 21. Then don't include 21 also. Should. So then you will get 22 onwards. So the date of meeting can be added. This is how it should be. So the directors of Signy 21 Mines Limited posted the notice for an AGM on July 25th. Oh. The meeting was scheduled on August 14th. Is that valid? So you do the counting and tell me if I am right. I have given the answer there, but you do the counting. Posted the notice on 25th. Here they're using old method, not email. Posted. So posted on 25th. So 25, 26 gone, 27 gone. So you start counting from 28. You start counting from 28th of July. So 28, 29, 30, 31. 4 days in July, 21 and so 21 balance how much? How many days? 21 minus 4. Am I correct? 17 days are there. So 17th August is the last date, 21st day. So meeting may be held on any day after August 17th. Whereas our friends are holding it on August 14th. So the meeting is invalid. Okay. Have you understood this? Because this is again an important point from the exam point of view. In case you have not understood, kindly. So I'm giving an example of posting. Whereas electronic means 48 hours won't come. That 48 hours deeming won't apply for electronic means. Immediate or time will be known. There is a beauty of electronic email. The time will be known. Can one or two of you confirm that you have understood this 21 clear days concept as I have explained it here? Beautiful. Thank you. Ms. Aparna, thank you. You know, in the exam, when I'm getting a problem like this, I won't do my mental things. I'll actually write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I count 1, 2, 3. Because my exam result, somebody was writing now, this year internet result is my most important day. Absolutely, it is. So, same. If you're serious about it, don't play games. No shortcuts. Little bit time if you take now to prepare and to plan, much of your time of execution will be less. But people who are rushing into the execution without planning, without preparing, you'll find they keep redoing it again and again. I've noticed this. Processes, are once a planned process, planning and, once you plan it and you create a clarity, execution is fairly easy. Whereas when you don't plan, you start the planning part and you don't read it fully and all, then you go into the execution, you find that you made a mistake, you come back, you get confused, you get frustrated, gone. So don't do that. In the exam hall, read the question well, thoroughly. And after reading it, if you think there are options, alternates, examine it. Then decide what you're going to write. Whether in whichever medium you're writing, take the pen, start writing clearly the answer. Okay? That will be better. Now, can a meeting be convened by giving shorter notice? Yeah, it can. In fact, do you remember now in incorporation, I showed you that Prometheus company incorporation. Later on, if you want, I'll show it again. Because that is a case study for shorter notice also. That company wanted to change its name, na? So they gave shorter notice because the time was not there. So they gave shorter notice. Shorter notice, what is the procedure? Shorter notice means less than 21 days. So you want to give less than 21. Hey, important, I forgot to mention this. For a Section 8 company, this 21 days will be equal to 14 days. I didn't stress it because I thought you will remember from our discussion on Section 8. Do you remember? We said exemptions for Section 8 company. One of the exemption was 21 to be read as 14 days. So for them, it's 14 days for Section 8. So shorter notice for any company you want to give less than 14 or 21, then you should get the consent in writing or by electronic mode by the requisite number of members. For an AGM, not less than 95% of the members entitled to vote should agree. For EGM, in the case of company having share capital, majority in number of members entitled to vote who represent not less than 95% of the paid up share capital. So where the company is having a share capital, it's not enough if you have majority in number. They should also represent 95% of the paid up share capital. So suppose the company has 10 shareholders, it's not enough if 6 are agreeing. Those 6 people together should hold not less than 95%. In case of company not having share capital, members having not less than 95% of total voting power. Remember, when the company does not have share capital, it is only the number of members count. So let us say that they have 50 members, then 95% of 50. I don't know what that is. 95% of 50, let me see, 50 into 95%. 47.5, that is 48. So because 47.5, you can't have 0.5 member. So round off to the nearest higher number, 47.5. So there are companies having 50 members, not having share capital. For EGM, out of 50, 48 should agree. How? 95% of 50, that is 47.5. Am I correct? 95% of 50 equal to 47.5. That is, why not 47.5? Because half a member cannot be running around. We need one member, so 48. So minimum 48 should agree for this. Here, suppose the same company is having paid up share capital, then majority in number for this. Majority in number is what? 26. But that 26 should hold not less than 95% of the paid up share capital. Okay. So this is how it is. Where any member of the company is entitled to vote only on some resolution or resolutions to be moved at a meeting or not on the others, those members shall be taken into account only for those matters. See, there are some rare cases where member may be, for example, preference shareholders are normally not entitled to vote. But on those matters where they are entitled to vote, they will also be counted. So his consent should be taken only for those matters. Got it? Preference shareholder cannot vote on all matters. He can vote only on those matters where his interest is affected. Am I correct? So in a notice, there can be 5 items where he is not interested. 1 item where he is interested. Now, for that 1 item only, you have to get his consent also. The preference shareholder also should. Valid notice must state the day, date, hour, and place of the meeting and shall contain a statement of business to be transacted. And just keeping it a little easy. Who is entitled? Every member of the company, legal representative of any deceased member, assignee of an insolvent member, entitled, auditor or auditors, entitled. Okay, so it's a right of the auditor to receive notice. You already saw it in audit and auditors also. For auditor topic, this was a right of an auditor to receive notice. Every director of the company. See, earlier, directors were not entitled to notice. Here now they are saying because there could be a director represented by the minority, representing the minorities. So that every director of the company is entitled to receive notice. Okay. Got it? See, I can set a multiple choice where I can say, which of the following is not entitled to receive notice? Member of the company, registrar of companies, C, auditor, D, director. Answer? B, registrar of companies is not entitled to receive notice. Notice. But later on he will come and Any accidental, I have highlighted the word accidental. Accidental omission to give notice or the non-receipt by a member, okay, shall not invalidate. This is called Ganga clause because, see, I have committed so many pap in my life, including unnecessarily irritating you about language issues. Whatever pap I have committed, now what I have to do? Once I go to Gangaji, okay, Sankalp, then 11 times. Okay, all the 11 Rudras will come, bless me and say, get out. You are no pap, gone. Go. Okay, and I can start doing pap. No. Idea is, you sincerely regret and you say, stink. I will be a good man from now on. Right. So that's why Ganga is the purifying river. It can purify the sins. Therefore, this clause, 101 subsection 4 is called Ganga clause. Because any accidental omission to give notice to any member, he cannot come and complain. He say, so what, you didn't get right, no problem. Others have got, they have come. And sometimes in classes also that happens. One student will be keeping on wasting time. Other students will tell, sir, we are all agreeing, sir. Please proceed with it. So in those cases, an accidental omission will not invalidate the meeting. Okay. Section 101 shall apply to a private company unless otherwise specified in respective sections or articles. So private company can have its own provisions for notice. Wow. So all this that we studied will apply to private company also if the private company articles are silent, if they adopted table F. But if it is otherwise specified, then it will 101 will not apply. Only that provision will apply. Unless otherwise specified. Similarly, for a specified IFSC public company, it will not apply unless otherwise specified. I just want to push on and complete a certain number of slides. So allow me to go for another 5 minutes, we'll finish it. A company may give notice through electronic mode. Electronic mode, I'm not going to read that definition. You please read it. Beautiful definition. But I don't want to waste your time reading it. You go and read it. Which is capable of producing confirmation, keeping record of such communication addressed to the person entitled to receive such communication at the last electronic mail address provided by the member. Was simple email. Yeah. So that they are trying to elaborately define email. Okay, just go through this definition. Lot of fun, not important from exam point of view. Don't waste your time. Okay, basically email, boss. You see, you can send it by email. When you send it by email, what happens? It's sent through the secured computer program of the company, which is capable of producing confirmation. Okay, definitely it comes through RS. Actually, it doesn't come through asymmetric crypto system. Okay, it comes only through RS feed, but still it is secured. It is secured, and to an extent, it is secured. And definitely, there is an acknowledgement of receipt. So there's a confirmation and keeping record, and both of us can have it, and tomorrow produce it as an evidence in a court of law. So notice may be sent through email as a text, or an attachment to email, or notification providing electronic link or URL. So you may, instead of sending a notice, you can send a link or even a QR code. Believe me, not necessarily a link, even a QR code. Nowadays they send only QR code. So you just scan the QR code, you go to the website where you can download the notice. Nothing wrong. Digital error. So email shall be addressed. Please note, the only important thing here is, I'm so sorry. Every time I do this. No? The only important thing here is electronic mail address provided by the member last. So this will be taken for a listed company, it will be taken from your DPID, depository participant. Otherwise, whichever email address you gave, they will send. If you change the email address, sorry, you have to inform them, change it there. So the email shall be addressed to the person entitled to receive such email and the company to provide an advance opportunity at least once in a financial year to register the email. Okay. So in case you've not got it recorded, you can get it recorded. If you want to change it, you can change it once in a year. Okay. The subject line in the email shall state the name of the company, notice of the type of meeting, etc. Next session, I will try to show you the actual notice of an AGM. In the next session, I will show you the notice, including the mail and all that. Not a problem. The notice shall be placed simultaneously on the website of the company and the central government. The general meeting has to be called by the board. An individual director does not have an authority to call a general meeting. That is why if there are 4 directors, 3 run away, only one fellow is there, he doesn't even have an authority to call a general meeting. So he has to go to the tribunal to get the order of the tribunal for calling a GM. You got it? That is why power of tribunal to call an EGM, extraordinary general meeting, or power of tribunal to call or direct the calling. 97. Any notice of general meeting given without the sanction of the board is invalid. However, the same can be ratified by the board. Suppose, as in an emergency, a director has given a notice without the sanction. Later on, they can have a board meeting when the board can ratify. Rarely, this cannot be a regular feature. Once in a while, matter of emergency, it can be done. So we move on to business, which we will take it up in the next class. Okay. So we have completed notice. Next class, we will move on to business. The matters or agenda to be transacted at the meeting. Since this is an important topic, I'm not going to take it up now. We will take it up at a later date. I hope today's class was interesting. What time is considered in case of email? There is a time email is read or the time when email is reached? Good question. In fact, this is beautiful question by Ruturaj. The time when the email is read, that is not when it is read. There will be a record of the time when the email reaches his inbox. After that, he reads it, doesn't read it, is not my problem. The time when it reaches his inbox, his mail server will acknowledge at that time. That time is the time of service. Whether he reads it or not is not my problem. Sorry, sir, no way. He may not read it at all. I don't read. Most of my AGM notices that come to me, I don't even read. Even my secretary doesn't read. Yes, now, what nonsense. If there is any rights issue or some buyback, I will read. Otherwise, short. Okay? Fantastic. Audit and auditor's notes are not uploaded, sir. You're right today. My humble request is you can go and check up. My secretary uploaded it. I was in Dubai for a holiday. I forgot to inform her to do it. Today I told her to do it. She did it. To my knowledge, she did it in my cabin only. It should be there. Go and check it up and take it. Okay, I'm informed that Amit Mishra is best law teacher. I'm so happy to know that. And I wish that gentleman all the very best. Okay, thank you very much. Bye. Sir, over, sir.